Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It's custom 6v6 eclectic mix of Joes and Pros on Canis 6v6 this afternoon. How very exciting, and I'm out of breath. Aren't you impressed? First of all, though, someone mentioned on one of the Facebook posts that they'd spotted me doing some Let's Plays. Yes, that's true. I have been playing a little bit of FAF, a little bit of co-op there with Brink and Taquito and Heaven. It's very casual stuff, guys. We're just running through some of the campaign together and having a bit of fun doing it. And we will be featuring it on the channels. Brink's been streaming it to his Twitch channel. And we're also sort of taking it in turns to record one mission each. And then we're going to post them on each of each other's channels. It's a way to introduce each other to each other's subscriber base, essentially. And hopefully mix and match. Maybe it might allow us all to gain a few extra subs from here and there, and it's always a bit of fun as well. I'm warning you, like I said, it's very casual stuff, guys. I'm not self-deprecating about my abilities for fun. I genuinely suck pretty hard. So if you're looking to learn something, it's not going to be from me. You might learn something from some of the other guys playing with us, so it might be more interesting to watch the kind of... I'm going to go first, and then it's Brink's cost the second one, and then it's going to be Taquito and Heaven and so on if it's popular and people enjoy it. But like I say, don't get too excited. It's very casual, but certainly should be interesting stuff. That should air on the channels probably end of this week coming, so maybe Thursday, Friday time, something like that. We want to get a band of one for each channel, so we can kind of release all at the same time. So if people are liking it, they can go and watch, you know, one after the other, multiple. Anyway, that's enough waffle because I know you can't stand it. Let's get on with the game. Like I said, it's Canis 6v6. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. Cha-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top as usual. This Team 2 down here at the bottom. Slightly different layout, of course. Usually used to the Canis 4v4 or 5v5s even, where they dump everybody down here or up here in these sections, and they have to expand out left and right to get the corners of the screen. Not today. Not today. These guys are more spread out. But anyway, let's take a look at our players. First of all, up here at the top in, I think, is very customary Elephantine Grey and Seraphim. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, but it's TGX Legend Law. That feels familiar to me, that setup. Anyway, he's going first land. Next up for Team 1, it's Nagel, and he's going UEF in Baby Pink. How very sensible, opening first land. Another sensible choice for the teammate to his right, it's Apple Pie, also going UEF, opening first land there in Baby Blue. And last player in the original kind of starting locale, it's Flawless Noob, going Seraphim in Ferrari Red. Out to the two ostracized ones over on the eastern edge. It's another fellow self-deprecatee, if that's even a thing or a word. It's Dull-Witted, certainly an appreciative name on my front. I like people who don't hold themselves in too high esteem or take themselves too seriously. I don't like that he's gone Cybrin, but we'll forgive that. He's gone Cyanide Scion to boot and opened first land. Next up on the plateau, it's another Cybrin Blessing. It's Mully. He's on a cigarette break right now in Combat Green. There he goes, opening first land. So a dual Cybrin threat there in the east for Team 1. So we've got two Cybrins, two UEF, two Seraphim. Apparently no one likes Aeon on Team 1, but who can blame them? Let's take a look at Team 2. Starting off down here at the bottom in Hallyborange, very customary colour for him. It's the lifetime recipient of Guilecast's fabulous personality award. It's Maverick, going its very customary UEF as well, opening first land there, and then going Air All Day. Perhaps that might be someone else's. No, that's that's all his. Yeah, Air All Day, and then a land right at the end there for punctuation, because why not? Next up in Regal Purple, I'm not sure because of the L's and the I's, capital I's look the same in this game. I'm thinking it's Blin Chick, and that's how we're going to refer to him slash her, whether it be him, her, gender confused or not. And she is going Seraphim, opening first and second land and marching on towards the middle as we speak. Next up, team member number 3, it's Major Jock is awesome. Had a good showing a couple of casts ago in UEF there in Spetsnaz Green, and he opened first land, and now he's going to build another land factory a little further in towards the middle. Next up, it's my good friend Chosen, top ranking player in this map today in Mellow Yellow, going his very uncustomary Cybrin, unfortunately, opening, we think, maybe first land, second air, and then third air, but that's complete conjecture at this point. Team member number 5, I got that right, yeah, 5, it's Curry Smuggler on his way in towards the middle. He's going Aeon, the first one we've seen so far in Vivacious Violet, because he certainly has flair, going first, second, third land, and just going land all day, basically. And last but not least, on the plateau, also making his way towards the middle, it's the winner of today's Amusing Name Award. It's Fading Badger, because why not? Badgers make any game better, and he's going UEF in electric blue, and we don't know what he opened, but it's probably, we do know what he opened, because he went land all day. Right, we can zoom out and take a look at what's been developing. We've got Dull-Witted, who's looked very aggressive right on the outset here, has strolled straight forward, throw down a T1 PD with his comm, and that's given Blinchick second thoughts about advancing any further forward, although it does have a couple of Zooies in the area, might be able to take that out reasonably soon. Maverick is getting an early harassment off the cards, because nothing spells Maverick more than early harassment, or just harassment in general, and a T1 bomber out is making the rounds as we speak, and that could be a good one. 3 engineer kills there up top for Maverick. Mully on the receiving end of that one. Very irritating indeed. Lots of build capacity going pop there. Maverick getting work done early. Nice to see. Blinchick also managing to force back some of the T1 spam there from Dull-Witted, but Mully has joined the party as well, so we've got a 2v1 ACU situation here in favor of Team 1. Maverick is in the similar kind of locale, but right at the edge of the map with his commander, and is pushing back some of the T1 spam that came over the ridge there from Mully. What's going on over here? Well, we've had some pressure coming straight up the middle from Curry Smuggler, but whilst he's been taking down some of the T1 spam there for Nagel, Nagel's been going hell for leather on Curry Smuggler's ACU with his own ACU. Curry Smuggler down to 6,700. Nagel just dipping into the yellow there as well. He's on around 8,900. Of course, extra hit points at the start of the game for the UEF commander. Fading Badger coming in to assist his friend, though, from the west. And Nagel might have to think about dropping back here. What's going on the top left? TGX Legend Law has crossed the river and has had a little bit of an engagement with something up top here, but it looks like he got the better of them with the help of a few land factories he threw down there earlier. Blinchick throwing down some T1 PD with some hastily brought in T1 engineers, just enough to push Dull-Witted back a little bit. Mully and Dull-Witted fighting 2v1, of course, against Blinchick. She needs to be careful here. Maverick crossing the threshold now, potentially about to get in behind Dull-Witted and Mully. Still bombs away somewhere on the map, and it looks like it's Maverick. Is that the same bomber? No, he's only got 1 kill to his name. Nice early harassment in the air, but a few interceptors brought in a timely fashion there from Flawless Noob. We'll put a stop to that. Game quality, incidentally, guys, is at 88.75%, so it's about as balanced as Trump's views on climate change. Not a particularly balanced game at all, but what do you want from me? I didn't design it. Chosen way out in front, as we said there, 1900 global ranking for him. The lowest rated players seem to be on around 1100, so definitely, as we said before, an eclectic mix. But what's going on over here? Maverick finds himself caught up on a horde of Mantis from Mully, and both Mully and Dull-Witted approaching with their ACUs, and Maverick about to drop down into the red. He needs some ranking vet and soon, but he's a good 20 points away from it. We could be about to see our first ejection here. Maverick dropping below 1500 HP, and now Mully opening up on him with his commander, and Maverick is going to go down in 7.25 minutes right at the beginning of this one, and typically illustrates why he's the lifetime recipient of the Fabulous Personality Award, complaining that Mully blocked him. Well, perhaps it's an education for him. Now he's aware that the objective of this game is to kill your opponent. Maybe he didn't know that before. But anyway, well played by Mully. And congratulations, Maverick. More ranking points, solidifying your position at the top of the world's most salty player. Mully and Dull-Witted now going hell for leather against Blinchik. Blinchik on around 8,700 hit points on the con. Dull-Witted needs to be a little bit careful. He's on around 4,600. But what happened there? We missed one over in the west, and it was Fading Badger, who had previously come up to help Curry Smuggler, but then got triple teamed by Nagel, TGX Legend Law, and Apple Pie, all of which have sustained heavy damage in the fighting. Blame Maverick entirely for his display in the east as to why we missed that. TGX Legend Law down to 4,000 there. Nagel on around 6.5k, and Apple Pie on 5,100. But that's 2 players off the roster for Team 2 inside the first 10 minutes. And if they want to stay in this, they need to think about going for some easy targets. And any one of these 3 ACUs could be on the cards. But they don't have an awful lot in the area to go and rush them right this second. Curry Smuggler's in the area, but he's on around 3,400. So he's looking even peakier than the rest of those. Blinchik over here taking fire now. Still going 2v1 and making a pretty good show of it over here, it has to be said. He's also facing problems from the air now as Mully is dropping bombs from the skies from his T1 bombers. He's getting some assistance though from Major Jock, and Major Jock has also crossed the river in the center, but he's in very close proximity to Flawless Noob's ACU there as well, so those guys probably going to get held up on one another. But I'm very impressed with Blinchik and how she's holding off the combat here. I think it's safe to assume he's a he. There's very few women that play FAF. We have one every now and again. Major Jock has taken a pummeling, probably partly due to that T1 PD over in the center belonging to Dull-Witted there, but he's lost a good 3/4 of his HP, down to around 4,700. Needs to be very careful. TGX Legend Law suffering badly at the hands of Curry Smuggler's Aurora as well. Was already badly damaged. He's down to 2,700. Curry Smuggler getting an upgrade in the river there, and head just above the waves, and is targetable. As you can see, shots wailing in from Apple Pie's ACU. And looks like he cancelled that, you can see. So a little bit of a waste of eco there. Major Jock looking like he's in trouble as well. Flawless Lube with a gun upgraded com going to town. Mully in the area as well. Dull-Witted in the area, all switching their focus towards Major Jock, who's very vulnerable indeed. 2,200 hit points left on the commander. Can he make it back to the river? It's certainly his destination of choice right now. Overcharges coming in from Flawless Noob as well, but that gun is just too powerful. He's trying to dodge, but it's not going to be enough, and he wasn't really anywhere near getting back into the river. And that's a 3rd player going down now for Team 2, their front line player. And this has gone from bad to worse to bloody awful for Team 2. Chosen has a lot of work to do if he's going to carry his team through this. He's got Curry Smuggler left. He's got Blinchik left. But Blinchik has had to back up. Just look at the progress being made now by Flawless Noob there, and Dull-Witted. Dull-Witted throwing down a land factory up here for some quick reinforcements. And with that plateau down here vacated with the destruction of Fading Badger, it looks like Legend Law has designs on it, sending lots of spam down there to the bottom left hand corner to start with. T1 PDs of Blinchik down at the bottom right, under pressure as he tries to hold off the emergence of some T2 units from Flawless Noob, Ilsheva, and of course the commander itself. And he's getting pincered right now as Mully comes over the top of the hillock there and tries to get in behind those land installations. Curry Smuggler, of course, still up here with his commander. He's still going for an upgrade, and he looks like he might make that, actually. Not a lot of pressure coming his way, but Chosen bearing down on Apple Pie now. He's found himself in trouble. 2,000 hit points there. He gets a rank in veterancy at a very crucial time, but Chosen turns up with a couple of Corsairs to take a few extra hit points off him. Curry Smuggler cancelled his upgrade again to try and finish off Apple Pie, and the extra damage should do it. And that is a very welcome addition to the game for Team 2. But then Curry Smuggler goes down, but I think Mully has gone down in that explosion as well. So 3 commanders die inside about 10 seconds. 2 for 1. But that still leaves a 4v2 situation for Team 2 to contend with. But you know what? I think they'll take that. Pressure relieved on that eastern flank. That would have been really difficult for Bling Chick, who's since retreated back to the main installations on the other side of the river, trying to fight off 3 commanders and their associated spam that's been coming down this way pretty much since the start of the game. T1 bombers in for Legend Lore, going after not sure what, actually, hitting mass storage and not a lot else. Nicked a couple of HP off that T2 mechs there for Chosen. Chosen's transition to T2 Air, as we saw earlier with the Corsairs, also has a chunky looking group of renegades, T2 gunships there waiting for some action. Can't believe the amount of death. So what are we down? So 3, 4, 5, 6 players evicted in what must have been 13 odd minutes, something like that, 12, 13 minutes. Fortunately for Team 2, they've had the lion's share of evictions. Zui's rolling in now from Legend Lore, who's busy incidentally expanding onto that plateau formerly belonging to Badger. Lots of T1 land factories being put up there. That could be spam issues for Team 2, who'd like to send the gunships in, but there's a lot of flak in their T1 mobile anti-air rather than actual flak. Not a lot of anti-air in here, it wouldn't seem. Well, actually, we do have some T2 turning up now for dull-witted. Definitely isn't dull-witted. And we have 1 or 2 actually in there from Flawless Noob, so can't really send the gunships in there and expect to get much done. He has sent it to the plateau instead. Lots and lots of T1. Was that due to poor scouting from Chosen? I think perhaps he sides against it. And he and the escort of T1 interceptors there from Bling Chick withdraw. This is looking pretty bad right about now. Bling Chick out front with a gun upgraded comm, trying to thin out this wedge of T1 and T2 as it approaches the main base. We've got 1 T2 PD in that base, and assaulted T1 PDs going up, but taking a lot of Zui fire as they complete. But uh-oh, they've turned around, coming the other side of that mountain there. Bling Chick taking fire from the commander and an awful lot of T1 and T2, and now Flawless Noob getting his units in behind Bling Chick's commander, slowing him up, causing him to absorb artillery shells, and now it looks like he's got nowhere to go and is literally accepting his fate. Sub 2,000 hit points, and he's going to be going out at the 16.5 minute mark. Boom, baby! And then there was one. Chosen has an enormous mountain to climb if he's going to stay in this one for any length of time whatsoever. he's already started expanding into some of the other bases. Now we can start cannibalizing their bling chicks. Actually quite glad he died, so I don't have to say that name anymore. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it as it's intended. But this is just looking like a steamrollering right now. Chosen battling to save his base as Legend Lord pushes down from the top left. Flawless Noob and Dull-Witted surely going to be heading south. They must sense victory is very close indeed. Nice bank of T1 PD up front, but lots of Zooies in the mix. Up here won't take much to brush those aside, assuming Flawless Noob doesn't just charge in head first. He's going to lose at least one or two of his flak here. Oh, he is charging in. Lots and lots of confidence there. No whittling down the forward defences. And it's a shame because they're absorbing lots of Cerberus fire from back here. And they've only just taken down the first T1 PD. And all of the offensive ground-to-ground T2 units are dead. Flawless Noob backs up with what little he's got left. Now it's Legend Lord's turn coming in from the west. Chosen's getting an upgrade on the commander there. Mully telling Chosen that he needs air. Well, he needs just about everything at this point. There's no one left to do anything else. It's going to be an exercise now, surely, in how long Chosen can hold out. T3 on the commander completed. Lots of units still heading in from the west there from Legend Lord, but you can see by the rate that they're popping and their size, it's all T1. Nothing particularly scary in there, although we do have a couple of T2 units coming in. 2 pillars there from Nagel. And there is a hefty looking group of Corsairs here, which look like they've seen action already. That might have been the group that took out, who was it? Was it Apple Pie in the center earlier, which caused the three-way death between him, Mully, and Curry Smuggler. And it was actually Mully actually saying that they needed air, so it was Mully talking to his Team 1 teammates, excuse me. You'll forgive me that. 12-player games can get a little confusing at times. Now in come a couple of Notha fighter bombers now. They're going to get a couple of bombs away. What's their target? Target's going after T2 mexes, and they'll pick up one of those, though they won't get a second bombing run at anything else. Another Notha inbound. Will he get the bomb away? Yes, he will. His target is the energy storage. Does Chosen still have access to overcharge? Yes, he does. He's got another energy storage hidden somewhere, so it'll help him defend against a future spam attack. T3 now heading south, though, for Nagel. So he's hit T3 land phase. Oh, but look out! Corsair rush on Dull-Witted, who absorbs just about all of that incoming fire and drops down into the low yellow. Might even dip down into the red here. The shield gen that he was standing under was a very basic one. That's already been killed off. Down to 2,000 hit points. In comes Flawless Noob with a lot of T1. Will it be enough? It's going to be very, very close indeed. Dull-Witted doesn't make a play for the river, and perhaps he should have done. Down he goes. So that's a little bit of pressure coming off this right-hand side now as all those units go pop. There we go. No fairies have to die today, I'm pleased to say. So Chosen with a nicely timed snipe there alleviates just a little bit of pressure, but still massive, massive uphill battle here. He's got 3 torpedo bombers that are heading up the river. He is in full sniper mode at this point. Flawless Noob's commander is there, and he's on an upgrade as well. Question is, can he see him? Yeah, he's got the signature, but it looks like he's more focused on commanders back here. An attack ping from teammates has gone down over here. Curry Smuggler saying kill it with TML. Has he got TML? Yes, he does. 3 TML in the center. Flawless Noob static on an upgrade. 3 TAC missiles inbound. Oh my goodness. Oh, what? 200 hit points left, but there's another barrage coming in, and he's still on an upgrade. Bye-bye. Flawless Noob ejected at 21 minutes and chosen with an amazing comeback. Snipes out 2 of his opponents. 2 still remain, but his odds have dramatically increased in the last couple of minutes. Wow. Curry Smuggler congratulating his teammate there. And it's a 1400 and a 1500 versus a 1900. But suffice to say, Chosen is behind. So his eco significantly less well developed than, say, Nagel. Chosen's on 70 with 3.5k power. Legend Law behind him even further, actually, on 55 mass with 1.6. But Nagel ecoing hard and has the lion's share of the base that's currently developed. He's on 189 with 7.1k power and huge quantities of mass, which he's funneling over to Legend Law, actually. So good teamwork happening there from Team 1. And yes, there's a lot of scary looking grey spam circling Chosen, but it is literally all T1 that's come from that base over in the bottom left-hand corner. Who like me out there is hoping that Chosen can pull this off somehow, some way, a comeback to end all comebacks? I would be very surprised. It's a seemingly insurmountable feat to achieve, especially with lots of T3 heading his way. Thankfully for him, they're Titans and not Percivals. And we've got some spearheads turning up as well, so Chosen potentially facing mass mobile missile spam. And his engineers are under pressure, trying to expand out to that last spare base section. Well, actually, there's still that top one there and this one down here. He manages to get a few loyalists in amongst them. The question is, how many engineers can he save? He desperately needs the build capacity to build up and build up quickly. Meanwhile, a quick counter push, and it's worth noting that Chosen still has pretty dominant position in the air game. But I don't know if it's dominant enough to go straight in after the main base. Nagel is in the main base, but he's got a personal shield on that commander and 15k hit points on the actual commander itself. They open up, and in the first pass, they take about a third of that 24k HP out. Are they going to switch up to something a little bit more sensitive? It might be sensible. The T1 Inties have locked onto them. Probably a better idea would be to have just gone straight after the power and then try to get out. Engineers funneling eco into T1 anti-air, and the shield has gone down over here. Takes out a bank of energy storage. Will they get the T3 power plant? No, they won't. Meanwhile, lots of pressure being applied down here at the bottom. The Titans rolling in from the shielded position that Nagel set up in the breach up here. Some of those mobile missiles being funneled back from the loyalists, but the spearhead tearing through what looked like a shielded T3 air headquarters there, but just outside the barrier. One more upgrade on that shield, which was on the way, 40% complete. That would have covered it. but those spearheads put to great use. You don't see them used enough, and certainly in team games they have phenomenal potential. So much damage, huge rate of fire, can overwhelm sparsely populated areas of tactical missile defense, but they're in full retreat now. Land forces around them depleted, and those loyalists come out in speedy fashion to mow them down. 25 minutes gone in this, and it feels like it's been an hour. So much has happened. But units slightly depleted now. Feels like we're heading for a potential lull. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to knock it up a notch. Hit it to +2 while these guys get their houses in order and start pumping out units once again. But look at the charge Nagel has made on Eco in the last couple of minutes. 393 now. That's surely good enough to deal with Chosen, who on his own is on 112, and Legend Law has now zipped past him, I'm sure with the help of those large mass donations from Nagel. He's on 151. One Percival now standing out front, bossing it. Add in a couple of Janus. Yeah, I think that Corsair pressure, I saw what he was trying to do, and he got lucky with the snipes early on, but perhaps hadn't scouted the defenses, hadn't seen how chunky that commander was. I think that was the wrong move. He would have been better actually hanging around up here and trying to completely kill off these two areas, because we think, look at what we've got here. We've got 3 T3 mexes, 1 T1, obviously one of the T3s has been destroyed, but then we've got 4 T2s up here, and they are all simultaneously upgrading towards T3, and Nagel is going to be so far ahead soon. He's going to be uncatchable. Monkey Lord nearly complete. If he can sneak this in somewhere important, that could be a game changer potentially. But there are scout planes regularly passing over this base from Legend Law, so I'm sure that they're going to be keeping an eye on that spider bot. And a Fat Boy is completed in very quick time from Nagel, and is on its way out. We've got one lingering strap bomber there, a Syntha from Legend Law, actually a couple of them. Chosen's base partially shielded with those horrendous Cybran shields. And in he comes for the base. Interesting target selection. Didn't go after the vulnerable T2 PGen there, but obviously wasn't aware that the shield had blinked off. Syntha caught by Chosen Inties down there at the bottom left. Nagel bringing in his own in vastly superior numbers to finish off Chosen's. And that Syntha will escape, losing only about 1100 hit points in the process. Another band heading in on the ground, this time from Nagel, and this time it's all T2. Para shields and everything. And there's not a lot on this side of the base to defend for Chosen. Where has he gone with that? Monkey Lord, well, he's gone straight up the river, and it's been spotted, and it's getting brutalized by that Fat Boy. The laser busy vaporizing large sections of the river there to little or no effect, and that's not going to get anything done. Quick strap bomb from the Syntha there, which must have got the kill. It's gone on straight to 5 stars. It's only got 8 kills. Cheeky kill steal there from Legend Law. At least that T2 ground threat has been dealt with. But With that fat boy bearing down on him now. I just don't know what Chosen's going to do. And is he on power locked? Yeah, he is. So currently having major eco troubles. Trying to rectify that by getting a T3 P-Gen online. It's probably what's causing the problems in the first place. Alright. But back up to 172. Legend Lore has zipped to 415. He's reclaiming something. I think that's what he's reclaiming. Reclaiming the Monkey Lord. But Nagel on 505, and I think that is representative of his generated eco. Strap Bomber in the bottom left. Locked onto by Inties. Out comes an ASF. Will he get a bomb away on something squashy? No, he won't. That gets shot down. Nice save by Chosen. Was heading for a shielded part of the base anyway. But look, in comes Nagel with a whole bunch of ASFs of his own and wipes out the one defending ASF of Chosen's. Nagel just waiting for the opportune moment to strike. He's amassing Percy's at the river over here for surely what looks like a two-pronged attack. He's going to come in from the west, in through the breach here. And use that fat boy, I'm sure, to wreak havoc and destruction, which I'm normally very pleased about when it's a Cyberan base. But it is Chosen who has played phenomenally, it has to be said. Quick tac missile launch. Looks like he's trying to pick off some of these units up here. Might be leading on where he thought the fat boy was going to go. Fortunately, though, it comes to nothing. Quick Corsair strike. Going to take a lot of hit points off the shield. Has to run over a Skyboxer, though. But in come the Percys, and in come the Titans and the Fat Boy. The shield is down on the Fat Boy, but the Corsairs get wiped by Nagel's ASFs as they come in to support. And Thota will do it if all else fails. That Fat Boy's taken a pummeling already. Gets it into range of Chosen's base. Shield is depleted, but down goes the Fat Boy. The Thota, though, still going strong. And there's Percival's in to back it up. Lots of T2 point defense in here, remember. Maverick says Chosen playing epic. It's probably the first thing Maverick said in all the years that I've known of him. I've agreed with. And Chosen on the run from the Thota that's not really too concerned about the base. It's picking off stuff as it strolls past it, but it's much more concerned with ending this now, and I think it's going to. Chosen in full retreat, absorbs a blast from the main cannon, that plasma ball of death, and it looks like he's going to get hit by another one, and there he goes, right on the cusp of 36 minutes. Chosen, you didn't survive, you didn't pull off the most almighty comeback of all time, but I have to say, you played phenomenally. Those were two very elegant snipes indeed to get you back into, well, you were never back into it, that's probably exaggerated, but certainly get you back into a more entertaining position. It looked like the game was going to be one royal steamroller after the first 15 or 20 minutes of play, but you made it entertaining, sir, so well done to you, and well done to all of you for coming to join us here today at Guildcast. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. There's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, you can support me on Patreon. Every dollar helps me and vicariously helps the community as well. And if you haven't done so already, for heaven's sake, like and subscribe. And in fact, next time, don't even wait. Just like immediately when the video starts, because for some reason, YouTube thinks that makes it better. But anyway, until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.